Are you enjoying your privacy as a single man?
I love every single moment of it. Don't have to wake up in the morning and text somebody, oh, baby, how did you sleep well? Did you dream of me? Shit.
They ranked the most notorious counties for cheaters. And the ones that were least for cheaters, that rank at the bottom for cheaters, are every county where polygamy was allowed culturally had less cheaters.
Do you know monogamy came up after the New Testament in the Bible? If you look at traditional African society, every community was polygamous.
We should drink daily on a demo pain.
Oh my God. Disaster.
Story for days.
Disaster. By the way, never realized they're just in a loop.
That's exclusive.
For the book.
Woman have said, I love you too.
Yes.
The one who has seen me naked, the one I have seen naked, and the one I have tasted. Shout out to all the nuns watching. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of Monday Madness. Another week, another topic to yap about. Mel, karibu sana kwenye show.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana. Hatujui kama tuite show podcast, vlog. I don't know. Africa by there will just be doing random things.
It's all vibes.
It's all vibes, so people, you enjoy what you're watching. Wiki yako imekuaje, bro?
Wiki yangu imekuwa fiti, can't complain. Weather for two, lakini bado niko peke yangu kama panga kwa baridi.
Why are you single, man?
Personal choice. Unajua sasa being single should be a disability. Man, nipate reparations.
Are you enjoying your privacy as a single man?
I love every single moment of it. Don't have to wake up in the morning and text somebody, oh, baby, how did you sleep well? Did you dream of me? Shit. Wake up. Thank the Lord for life.
Sun-kissed.
Sun-kissed.
Yeah. So, Ebu, let me ask you something. Is it like this thing of communicating nowadays? You think people communicate to connect? Or people communicate to like check a...
I believe they follow a script in communication in that it's your obligation to do it, so you just do it, but it's not like genuinely from your heart. Like, oh, if I don't call her, I'm gonna get into shit. Nah. But unajua usikajipate kwa situation uko na dem anapenda kuongea uko 2 hours on the bloody phone just yapping.
I always believe that if you're not a good listener, you can't date a yapper.
Yo, I'm a good listener, but it gets to a point. I'm saturated.
Oh. So this babes you talk to, unajua kwanza mimi sipendangi. Ushai drunk daily on a demo pain.
Oh my God. Disaster.
Story for days.
Disaster.
Alafu sasa ndo wasting anarudia stories.
By the way, never realized they're just in a loop.
But I love my home girls. I love if you're a female friend of mine, I love you. But I always say, bro, like drunk darling, please, that's exclusive.
For the book.
Woman have said, I love you too.
Yes.
The one who has seen me naked, the one I have seen naked, and the one I have tasted. Wengine wote, I never called you on the keep on being. The only person who can stand you when you're drunk and you're yapping for like 1 hour, 2 hours is a little lousy.
That's true.
Me by the way, I've tried it. I love my friends, but I've tried like listening to my bed friends and they're drunk, telling me, good boy.
There's a reason your phone should be on D&D.
No, me boy, I'm like, dude, I love you as a friend, but easy boys and pins and anifanisha, I mean, easy ways. Like, please, we're not like that. Hatujapigana makasi here.
Let's be honest.
Hatujapigana makasi hivyo.
Shit.
Hatujaonana hivyo. I've never seen you like that. So, yeah. There's that. Let me ask you, as a single guy, because that's me, I'm single. So, I'm trying to like maybe see if your experience is the same as mine.
The similarities.
Would you ever let a babe go through your phone? Because I know, have you been in situations, have you dated somebody who has like taken upon themselves to go through your phone?
Yes.
And how was it?
It was okay.
Unajua,
Let me tell you something about, let me digress. Let me digress.
Yeah, how good was that coach?
Relationships ain't about coochie by itself. It's about the individual, the mind, and the coochie is attached to, but also who they are. Is your lover your friend?
Yeah.
Is your lover your
But
band
I'm
person?
your homie.
So I'm answering your question.
We explain to me. I want to understand. Because this is unajua, I'm a single guy like you. I'm saying umekuwa soko kunishinda.
No, not for long though.
Checking, bro. Soko nikakuacha nikarudi bado go.
Zii.
Ulikuwa soko, ulikuwa umetoka pia.
Simi nimetoka soko juzi.
Walai, umerudishwa soko. Ulirudishwa au ulirudi?
Tulirudishana.
So let me ask you, because me, I have things I don't allow babes to do. Like and then I also don't do myself. When a babe goes through your phone, when she goes through your phone, you go through her phone as well.
This is how it works for me. Whatever you're looking for in that phone, you're gonna find it. So if this is the devil you've chosen,
Yeah.
you knew the compromise that it comes with. So give it the benefit of doubt, but don't tolerate disrespect. So when you're feeling the instance to go through her phone, something's up.
I know, like
Something's up.
That's what I'm saying. You see, can we talk about what the difference between trust and privacy is?
Yeah.
Because there's a way you can overextend and like blur boundaries. There's a way someone can ask for privacy, and there's also a way there's a way you move, like you're just showing, bro, you don't trust me. And I believe there's nothing people can build without trust.
That's true.
Yeah. So you've been in a situation where someone would go through your phone. Like, is it something you agreed on, ama ilianza tu ka habit?
I agreed because I had nothing to hide.
And then we all angalia phone yake.
I didn't feel a reason to or a need to.
In that type of situation, me, I've always said, if I feel the need to go through your phone already, I'm telling you I don't trust you.
That's true.
And if you feel the need to go through my phone, you're telling me you already don't trust me. And to make it even worse, I know, because there's a way I talk to my boys. There's a way I talk to my friends. I'm a flirty guy, and I don't flirt because I want to smash everybody I flirt with. Sometimes I just flirt with babes because I want you to feel beautiful. You're pretty. If Mel, you think a baby is pretty, you think, me, I don't find the same babe pretty. Obviously, she's pretty to everybody. So if you're my friend, I flirt with some of my friends sometimes. Not in a disrespectful way. It won't be like, leo meva panty ya kala. I won't do that. Unajua? Hata kama hata sitakangi kujua, unajua, but I flirt with my anybody who's close to me and we're not related.
Yeah.
Always remind them, bro, you're pretty. Cheki, I don't know kama umepatiwa compliment this week, but mi ndakupatia.
And people do forget that flirting is a sport.
It's actually a sport, and it's an act of... Actually, I've seen somewhere flirting is an act of kindness.
Yeah.
It's kindness. It's reminding someone that
They still got it.
they still got it. They are desirable, even if I don't want, even if I can't have you. I'll flirt. Me, I used to flirt mpaka with the trainee teachers in high school. Because it's like, bro, when I'm supu, you're very pretty. Young. I started young, you're pretty. I can tell you're pretty, and we can blush about it. And then you go about our way, nothing has to happen after flirting. So now, kama maybe utafikia tunataka kudishiana kama hujazoea compliments. Unajua pia kuna mtu anaweza mpatia culture shock na compliment.
Na hivyo ndio rumors
zinaanza hivyo. Cheki, how do people become office wives and office husbands? It's through flirting. You remind someone, hey, you're desirable, I desire. But in this environment, we are professionals, so we are working.
But how do people draw the line between flirting and actually hitting on me?
Sasa see, hitting on someone is intention. You see, flirting doesn't have an intention. It's like banter. You see, banter is never, I don't banter you because I want to hurt you.
Yeah.
You see, I'm just bantering you because we're kind of exchanging fun. So flirting is more on the side of, you're attractive. So I'm going to tell you something that's going to boost your confidence. And me, I believe if that's how I interact with babes and you go through my phone, bro, you're going to find whatever you're looking for.
So has any of your partners ever gone through you?
No, I have never dated anybody who wanted to go through my phone. The minute I catch on to it, bro, inaisha. Mi heri niimalize. Because, first of all, I'm a public, I don't want to call myself famous, but I'm a public person. I'm a public figure to a degree. So obviously I talk to a wide array of people, and I don't ever feel the need to explain to everyone, like, this is who I am. Yeah. So you come to me, of course I'm not going to flirt with people when I'm dating someone seriously. And I trust that when I tell someone, hey, I want to date you, like seriously, or I want to be with you, you also trust that I'm self-aware. Yeah. And I've chosen you because I had many options, but I picked you. So, hao wengine, hata kama sijawafukuza, nimewafreeze pahali. Nimewafreeze, unajua venye ukienda club unaambiwa wewe toa ID. Hawezi ingia hapa. That's how I keep it.
In my case, it's you feel like you have the need to go to my celly. Why not? Yeah, do it. Because at the end of the day, like it's an instance of I'm trying to assure you, there's nothing that's going on over here. You believe there is, well and good, but yeah, it is. There's the proof, and it's not that I've eaten ish or anything.
See,
I'm just genuinely a clean guy when I'm in that situation. But when someone is insecure, it's either they're projecting their insecurities or they're the ones who are actually doing something and they believe you're doing it too.
That's usually the case.
Yep.
It's usually the case because why are you with me if you don't trust me, bro? You know why we homies if you don't trust me as a homie?
That's true.
Why am I dating you? Like, if I have all these options. Kwanza, me just do by them mademu fikiriaje saa zingine. Like, to be honest, and guys as well.
Can we address the issue that men are usually referred to as the hoes of every relationship?
No, let me tell you. A nigga, let me tell you something.
Scapegoat.
So there's no scapegoating. Ashley, let me tell you something. There's one thing a man will never be. And I don't make the rules. A man will never be seen as a hoe. He'll be seen as a cheater. You'll be called a cheater, but nobody will ever call you. Kwanza ukitamse hoe hata ajali. What does that? Pika kuitamse oe. It has no effect. You can never shame a man by calling him a hoe.
I'm not saying shame them.
You see the way you see.
Shame the man. I'm
Yeah.
saying let's acknowledge that their behaviors are similar to the word hoe.
No, actually, I'll actually correct you on that. I believe that is a narrative that is sold to downplay the fact that the female gender are moving mad. But it's the niggas who are out there. It's public, like, oh yeah, I move like this, but babes.
Yeah, there's something about
a whole other breed, my G. Hey!
Men were created first.
But we're by ourselves. Who are we, doggy?
You were created first. Then a woman was created afterwards.
But who are by ourselves?
But that's the Bible theory.
My point being, you set the pace. Women just got on.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was.
So let me ask you a question.
I know what you're gonna say, but I'm sorry. You said you don't.
Producer kwa nyuma ya kamera onekani anaongea hapa huko jaba. Ona, cheki, let me ask you a question. So let me ask you guys, I'm asking our producer a question because we have a female producer, and because we are guys, somebody always has to like panel beat us back in check so that we don't go too left, and when we are going too right, it's not also we're not jacking off each other apart, just creating content. Someone has to bring back some sense. So mi niko na swali, umesema men are what? Men are whores. Say it like I'm saying. Say men are whores.
Men are whores.
So, but you also say women are equal to men.
No. Let's not take things out.
But that's it. Well, you say whatever a man can do, a woman can do.
Exactly.
When you talk about equality, when you're fighting for equality, 3/4 of the time, what we mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about opportunities.
Opportunities to do everything, even cheat.
No, this is usually mostly work opportunities because in so many episodes that are Leo,
Yeah.
utapata when the CEO is the lady and versus when the CEO is a guy, the guy gets paid more. You understand? That's what we mean when we want the equal opportunities. Like if the opportunity is there for me to apply, let me apply. Don't like deny me a chance saying ati uni mama tutake bwana mama akikuja hapa papa because there have been such situation and vice versa. Because there's some jobs men wanna do, but
You know,
it
there's
looks weird.
But you know, there's industries where women earn more than men. Many. Like just depends on what your strengths are. There are industries where women earn more than men, and there's industries where men earn more than women for like obvious reasons. Like I'll give you an example of sports. Male sports, like I saw the USA national team going on like protests and saying why they want to be paid equally to men. But then look at the amount of advertising the men's team generates in terms of brands. And that comes as a result of the number of views the men's sports generates and the number of people that fill the stadiums. Then also the quality of the game. Remember, there are sports that require a certain level of physicality to be played. So when men play football, it looks very different than when women play football. You know, Ash, do you like people seeing you when you're running? Are you shy when you run? Because you have a funny running way. You know, when you're running, it's like two boobs and a shwa, shwa, shwa. See, you're there ducking. Because you see, like, there's things like, it's not by anybody's design that a certain sport will attract a certain level of fans, and those fans convert to like things like endorsements and brand deals, and those brand deals determine how much someone is being paid. If more women actually went to the stadium to watch women play, then more brands would actually sponsor women's sports. And then now the female athletes would start earning just as much as the male athletes. So some of these things are not so much about, somebody's put a barrier in terms of how much you can earn. It's just the way the business works. Has more to do with capitalism than gender disparity in terms of pay.
Okay, you see, that's one scenario described.
Yeah.
But there's so many other scenarios where it doesn't necessarily matter which gender is playing. You understand?
Do you know I don't have an OnlyFans?
Why don't you have? It's optional. You can create one.
It's because like men pay to see women. They don't pay to see men. And women will never pay to see nudes when they get nudes for free. Why would they pay to see me at Yam? Just give me your $10 and see me smash the hell out of this babe. No, they get nudes for free. Like you're over there charging women to like see you naked, but then there's a guy in their DM sending them unsolicited nudes.
It's okay, but my point is, while people have a preference like that, it does not mean now you as a guy, if you want to open an OnlyFans, you cannot. That's what I'm referring to when you're talking about being given equal opportunities. You understand?
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you can do it. But sometimes we don't get that chance. That's why we have a lot of feminists talking about that, female equality. Gender equality, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
So maybe sometimes I speak from I don't call myself a woke brother, and I don't like calling myself a male feminist, even if some people think I am, because I know there's a section of women there's never gonna accept the idea of a male feminist. There's your experience that I'll never be able to understand. I'll never be able to relate to some of the things you like talk about. Like for me, like if I can wake up maybe on a morning and go and jog at 5 a.m. To me, that's something I do mindlessly. As a babe, you have to think of even what to dress in when you're going to the CBD. You can't dress you can't dress in a skirt like that's higher than a certain point. Maybe when you go to the CBD, you either wear the maxi dresses or you wear tight pants or whatever. You see, those are things I can never relate to because on my day-to-day like reality, There's just things that never ring in my head. I don't have those fears. So I'll never identify myself in a way that I say like I speak for. I don't speak for women. I can amplify their voices though, but I don't speak for them. I'm only here speaking as a guy. And maybe I have a blind spot in terms of what I can relate to in terms of your story and your struggles. And I think most times we spend so much time fighting about our differences instead of teaching each other about those blind spots.
Onto the blind spot. Let me answer you. We are not asking for more opportunities to cheat, but I'm saying before, if you do like a good count with your female friends, you'll notice before one became a cheater, that babe was hurt like Tara.
But see, you heal.
You are ashamed. I'm just saying it's not something that comes naturally to us. You understand what I'm saying? When I say you guys were created first, you set up the system.
No.
Well, let me finish. You set up the system, and then people naturally fell into that whole trajectory of if they can cheat and I also have needs, why am I putting so much emotion?
But you see, like this is the thing though. You see, you can't.
Yes, hurt people. I do not disagree with you. I'm not saying cheating is right.
But you see, like, this is the thing though. You can't.
It's
It's a cycle.
yes.
But
It's a summary of,
this is the thing about
of certain things that have happened. In the past.
this is
weak state of mind in that.
It is.
you will never out evil an evil person.
That is true.
Let me tell you something. There is a difference about trying to like keep up with bad. Like a man hurt you, so you're not trying like to keep up with them. Or this babe hurt me, so I don't think good character is gendered or bad character like is gendered. You know, like a bad character is bad character. It doesn't matter if it's a babe or a guy. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. To me, I don't like look at corruption. It doesn't reduce just because you have boobs. If you have the character to steal, whether you're a babe or a guy, you're still going to rob the citizens.
Actually, Ashley, do you believe in monogamy?
I believe when it comes to relationship, you have an option to choose. You can be the polygamous one, you can be the monogamy one, but it doesn't mean
That
it's
is
not.
the root of the problem over here.
So there's a recent study that was done in Kenya, and I don't remember which company did the research, but they ranked the most notorious counties for cheaters. And the ones that were least for cheaters, that rank at the bottom for cheaters, are every county where polygamy was allowed culturally had less cheaters. If you're to research on monogamy, and I'm not saying so here I like having discourse, and that doesn't mean that I'm for or against something. It's just to like maybe have discourse and understand some things better. Apparently, monogamy is not a natural trait to a lot of mammals. It exists in a few animals, but in humans, it has to be trained. Naturally, none of us are monogamous. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or if you're a babe. If you're a babe, you don't know how much you love that person until a richer person starts cartierring you.
Let me give you a problematic discourse.
Uh-huh.
Do you know monogamy came up after the New Testament in the Bible? If you look at traditional African society, every community was polygamous.
So New Testament for Christians as well, am just traditional Africans.
So what I mean is, within Africa, polygamy was
It was always there.
in the Arab states and whatnot. But now, even in the Old Testament, Akina Noah, Akina Abraham, they had wives and concubines. That's this, and concubines. So the moment the New Testament came, that's when it came refurbished in accordance to the agenda of.
Yeah, let's control these guys now and their libido. So so
Let me correct you on that one. I'm sorry.
Ashley almost became a sister. So please tell us. She almost became an hand.
Who even does that?
Shout out to all the nuns watching. We know we don't mean this personally. It's just bants.
The difference.
You're behind the camera. By the way, speaking to someone who's behind the camera, able to be anonymously. It's like you sound like the big brother. Big brother, and then big brother is now talking. Tell us, big sister, big sister, no none.
The main difference between why polygamy worked then and now is only one reason.
Yeah, empowerment.
No.
What?
It worked then because people were honest.
What do you mean?
Understand?
See, even now.
People were honest, men were responsible, and people would have this conversation. It's not like we are married right now, and I know you have a 18-year-old in campus somewhere, and that you are hiding in lodges. There's no way I'm going to make peace with that. If you are someone who's polygamous, the way Neo did it. He's right now, he has what? He has three.
Four wives.
Four babes.
Yeah, is that four? Yeah, I think it's
He has four
four.
babes. You see, and it works.
Yeah.
He's honest with everyone. But right now in this generation, people lie. That's why it doesn't work. And in the same breath, let's also understand monogamy still works for some people.
Fine, you have one case like monogamy works for some guys, doesn't work for some other people. Monogamy requires a lot of discipline and a lot of being whores for each other, so that nobody goes out there looking for another whore.
It's compromise. Compromise for
You say, and then so you have to kind of like, it's a lot of role playing. You kind of have to be, you have to want to be someone's wife and also their whore to be successful at monogamy. The same as the guys. You have to want to be someone's king and also their prince. So like when they need princess treatment, I kind of have to like teach you like a princess. You're my baby girl. At the same time, you're also a leader. You get what I mean? But for me, I've had these conversations with like babes in my friend group before. And one time I think I had this chat with the babe and she told me never ever say those things in front of my boyfriend. So today is for all the boyfriends. Nikichoma nimechoma. So I'm half Luo, and Luo men get a lot of flack, right? And it's because of one thing, and I don't think it's just limited to Luo guys. If you're dating anybody who's from a culture where the men are allowed to have more than one wife, and you're trying to force this person into something that they are not. Like you see, our idea of relationships is shaped from when we're kids based on what we see in our parents. So now you're over there, you're a babe, you're dating someone who has a stepmom, like mama mdogo, mama mkubwa. And I don't mean this in terms of like the new age thing of, blended families. And this person has a dad who has 3 other wives. And all the kids know each other and they live together harmoniously. They've grown into an adult. And then you accept someone who's from such a family, tukatia you, umeingia box yake, alafu unatry kumfanya akwet, you're the only woman. You think this guy and the things he's grown up seeing as normal is going to like take you for as the only one, and you're the only woman in my life. It's not going to work. That's not what he's been wired to. It's not in his circuitry to see you as the only woman in his life. Even subconsciously, he knows in a normal family setup, based on my family, is there's dad, there's mama mkubwa, mama mdogo, and maybe a third one. It's the same for any culture where people are allowed to have more than one wife. Now, if you take it back to way before, now Mel, to your point, if you take it back to way before the polygamy was like frowned upon and way before religion, the reason why marriage existed was never for romance. See, monogamy came with romance.
procreation.
It was procreation and it was wealth creation. So if I had, and maybe say for example, we are in 1756 or 1726, the Mzungu hasn't set foot in Kenya. My family has like 300 herds of cows. I've decided I'm going to marry this babe, right? I give 20 cows or 50 cows as dowry to their family.
Their family automatically in that village they come from becomes rich. You get me? So I've taken this babe from them. I've made them wealthy. This babe starts a family with me. She serves a certain role. Say, for example, yeah, I marry her when I'm young. And then she starts aging. She gets to another point where maybe she can't do some things for me. So when Raila was buried, how they're explaining polygamy. You get to a certain age, your wife is not able to perform certain duties. You're still provider, still protector. And if you can't protect directly, you've hired security. You've hired those big fellas who can fight for you. You've put maybe an electric fence over there. You bought a gun. Now you can't fight physically. We always say physical fights are for people who can't afford lawyers. Yeah. And athletes. Unapigana mangumi huwezi afford lawyer. If I have to fight you, I'll fight you in court. Mluguna that pigane mangumi hapo tutoane meno alafu one day must bro idea za mapengo. You know, there's this babe I used to date. And one day, forget that. Where are they both now? They're not in your life. So there's that. I'm a provider, I'm a protector. You get to a certain point in life, you're not able to provide the same things to each other, but you're going to try. You get another wife, same thing. Wealth creation. And I'm taking care of these people. So that's how it's seen. And in some cultures, the first wife is the one who picks the second wife. That's what you find like in some Luo families. You find one guy married sisters or cousins. Because they were asked who is easiest to live with in terms of a co-wife. And the sister says, I know my small sis, if we're going to be here and making families, checky. I'd much rather live with my sister because I'm going to treat her with kindness. I'm going to treat her like she's one of us. And the husband just like, yeah, okay, we do that. Because the first wife is given the opportunity to pick the second wife. And the two of them are going to be given the opportunity to pick the third one. What's happening now is people have a lot of money, they can still provide and protect. But then the problem is, you want to like cheat and feature up in there, like you're dogging, you're cheating. Oh, hey, bro, you have so much money. Where do you have to hide? So you just tell a woman from the jump, bro, being equal to, my dad had 3 wives. That's who I am. I'm not going to sell you this dream that you're the only woman in my life and then let her have that choice. That's the only problem. But in terms of marriage, in terms of polygamy, I'm not of the idea that now that women are empowered, those things don't matter anymore. They used to serve a purpose beyond just romance. Am I making sense?
Well said, my brother. Well said.
Yeah, am I making sense?
A lot of sense.
Ash. Kwisha, when I say nyamazisha mdem kazi, nipigeni jenge wa coffee. Like, I've never talked to a babe. Akanisikiza mpaka nyamaza. You see, that's why. Shout out to Gigi. Gigi never say this in front of my machine. When you're making sense, why are you making sense? But that's how it is. Like, it was never about romance when it was polygamy. It was about wealth creation. It was about taking care. And remember back then, by the way, the women weren't as empowered as they are right now. Right now, me, if I go into marriage, I'm like, bro, you're empowered. Like, what are we doing to fast track the wealth creation? Are you bringing the bag for your side? Am I bringing the bag for my side? Or if I'm bringing the bag, what are you doing for marriage? The house where I don't have to be at work while I'm worried about the how. Like, if my main job is working, don't make me worry about the kids. You kind of have to complement each other. And maybe I'm only worrying about the kids when it's serious. So niulize uniambie, how do I dress, Toto? That's not my problem, bro. You and the digs, figure it out. To me, I'm at work, I'll figure it out. If you need to do your wine club at the end of the month, I'll figure it out. Let's just, and nowadays I always say, like, you can't even argue about the labor anymore because we all hire house managers. It's a house manager to do what you need to do. So you can't really complain about labor and stuff like that. Yeah. Trust. But what's in on the issue of trust? You've spoken on my behalf. Let's say when we were talking about trust, people say we were talking about trust before this because we got into the polygamy conversation because there's always that trust issue. Is you're cheating, and the reason you're not trusted is this beam doesn't want to tell you, bro. I know your dad has 3 wives, so I'm going through your bond to find out if you're like he. See, because you've introduced them to your family.
So what's the argument for those who are not born in polygamous and are still cheating? Because in the same manner you say you have house managers, the same men are sleeping with the house manager.
So let me tell you something. Please, thoughts. These are my random thoughts. So don't beat me if you're watching this, but if you're in a comment section, don't beat me. Like you can add to the conversation, maybe give your angle. We'll make sure maybe in some shows we read some of the comments we get. Maybe we can have a review show where we read some of the things people are saying about some of the episodes we shoot. I always think like if you're getting into something serious with anybody, then you kind of have to make yourself useful. You see, if I'm providing for you, and so I'm spoiling you. I have a nanny, and my idea of marriage, maybe from when I was a kid, is a certain way, and you're not fulfilling that because maybe you think you're pretty enough. You're too pretty to do some things. But I mean, valid for some reasons. Valid. You're too washed to do some things. There's nothing that's stopping me. There's nothing that's stopping me from having another you. You get me? Yeah. Like if I wasn't providing, if I wasn't protecting you as a woman, what's the incentive for you to keep me as your only man? There's no incentive. So even you as a babe, you have to ask yourself, okay, and maybe we need to have those candid conversations. What are your expectations of a wife? What is your expectation of a husband? And then once you discuss that, then I see, okay, I can do 1, 2, 3, but I won't do 4, 5, 6. And you take it from there. What do you think? You as well. Or I'm like, tell me though, maybe you can tell us that obey the cheaters.
Rab, you know, like this whole time I've been listening to you talking and I'm like, do I really want a wife? Or do you want a hideout? Or do I want a regular? Or do I just want to stay by myself and just live this life thing?
There's a lot, like, you see, the thing is, people don't understand. Relationships are hard. Relationships are harder than a motherfucker. And so is marriage. And even worse, that in marriage, there's the dynamic of having a kid in there. Because now once you have a kid, you're not just thinking about yourself. And it's not just you as a dad, even the mom. She's not thinking about her and just herself. So there's 3 people in that dynamic. You're thinking of yourself. You're thinking of the person you have to like show up for in that house. And you think of the person you have to take care of. On top of all of that, so it doesn't get easier. Especially if you're going through what is expected, but what is expected of you by the society. It never gets easier. And then now on top of that, you have to worry about, am I the only one in this person's life? Do you know how many things I have to worry about?
Yo, in a nutshell, guys.
That's yours. In a nutshell, no puns intended. See? Yeah. So if you're not about that life, and we always say like, jipatie your, what do you call it? Jipatie your challenge. That's the only time we'll ever know what you mean. Me, I've tried. Mel said you're going to wait until you're good enough for someone. Me, I thought I was good enough for someone. I tried it, worked for a while. I was the gold standard until I wasn't the standard anymore. Kama ulikuwa unaniona kitambo unajukia. Siku mimi ni ule msee bana. They change. Depende, unanipenda, mbona sasa unajifanya unipende wizi? Mimi ni ule msee bado. But the thing is, I always respect guys who tried. You know, like, I can never laugh at anybody for failing because it means they tried. And you know, like, failing isn't a death sentence. It's not, failing is a lesson. It's not a lesson. It's not a death sentence. I always say, like, if it's going to work, it's going to work. And if it's not, breaking up is actually a good indicator that you know how to take, because you know your limitations. That's true. And you know what you can take and what you can't take. So it's actually the endings of relationships are not a bad thing. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this episode up. Actually leo mongea sana na hajatokea kwa Kamije. Wewe sasa tutafanyaje? Utaki kwa podcaster kama sisi?
women in male
Women in male-dominated fields go background, puppet master au ni puppet mistress, unatufanyisha tu YouTube go tu hapo kama ventriloquist. Anyway, guys, it's been real. Bell, thank you so much for showing up.
Thanks for having me.
I'll catch you on the next episode of Monday Madness.
Ashley, what is a great man?
Ashley was a great man to you. We've never asked the producer what she thinks of a great man. What's a great man to you?
A great one is someone who's honest, reliable, and confident, and knows when to be rough, when to be kind.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty as a beast.
Beast mode.
Yes.
Ashley, you alright? Bella is all gonna be on that. Good pay bucks. You're a gangster. You're a gangster and a lover at the same time. Anyway, guys, it's been real. It's another episode of Money Matters. I'll remind you guys, but if you enjoy these episodes, please subscribe to the monetize page. To the monetize page, we can only monetize this page when we get to 1,000 subs. So that means if it takes long, please support us. If you can't subscribe, please share with someone who can. And also, now that we're asking subscribe, we like to share the link. YouTube pays us. I have 5 G's. If you think you're doing anything mad in terms of manliness, and it's something that other people, it's a type of madness that people should emulate. You're showing up, you're pulling up for guys. Tag us on IG, on TikTok. If you see your video on our pages, we're to me 5 G's, but as long as you've given us permission to use it by DMing us the link. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. See you guys on the next episode of Monday Madness. Here we go. Next time.
As always, cheers.
Christos.